This video will discuss the cardiac valves and the layers of the heart. For this video, we're going to be using our frontally sectioned anterior view of the heart. So there are 4 cardiac valves. There are 2 AV valves, known as the tricuspid valve and mitral valve, that sit between the atria and the ventricles. And there are 2 semilunar valves, known as the pulmonary valve and the aortic valve, that sit between the ventricles and the outside of the heart, or the major vessels of the heart. So again, the first thing I want to do is get myself oriented. So here's my apex of the heart. Here's the base of the heart superiorly. That makes this the right side, this the left side. We learned that this was right ventricle, this was left ventricle, so that makes this right atria and left atria. The right AV valve is also known as the tricuspid valve, and it sits between the right atria and the right ventricle. The structure known as the mitral valve is also the left AV valve. It sits between the left ventricle and the left atria, so it's here. The AV valves have some structures we need to identify. Those are the cusps, the chordae tendineae, and the papillary muscles. The widest flat part of the valve is known as the cusp. Our right AV valve is known as the tricuspid valve because there are actually 3 cusps that make up this valve. Our mitral valve, or left AV valve, is also sometimes called the bicuspid valve because it's made of 2 cusps. These stringier structures connected to the cusps are known as the chordae tendineae. They look kind of like parachute strings to me, and are found on both of our AV valves. The chordae tendineae are then connected to the myocardium of the heart by the papillary muscles, and these are kind of these projections of the muscle of the heart here. This structure is the pulmonary valve, located in the pulmonary trunk, and these white structures here are the cusps of the pulmonary valve. Our semilunar valves have cusps, but they don't have chordae tendineae. The aortic valve would be deep in this model. You can't see it just because of the angle of the image, but it would be deep to about here. So the last thing to identify here are the layers of our heart. We have a pericardium, a myocardium, and an endocardium. These words and word parts are very similar to the word parts you've seen for other things as we've studied anatomy. So our endocardium is going to be the deepest layer, the myocardium, the middle muscular layer, and the pericardium, the outer layer. When we look at our model, you can kind of see they've depicted kind of this shiny interior portion. This is your endocardium. The myocardium is the thick, meatier, muscular part of the heart. It's really easy to visualize here on the interventricular septum, or just the walls of the ventricles in general. And then, though there's really not much to distinguish it, the outer layer of the heart here would be the pericardium. Okay, so that should cover valves and layers of the heart. Have a great day.